So here's what I think's happening.
Yeah.
Last episode, he showed up early for pleasantries. I think this episode, he's going to show up late. I don't know what the point is, but
I don't know what the point is either, but I think he is proving it. Balance the scales. I like that. Yeah, Gavin is a just man. So
that's true. Gavin, like justice, is blind. He can't read a fucking clock, apparently.
But while we wait, I guess I can bring this up. Freddie Got Fingered got added to the Criterion channel.
I saw that.
Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Hey, there he is. Hello and welcome to another episode of the KFace podcast. My name is Jeffrey Ramsey. With me, as always, Andrew Panton, Gavin Free. I don't know why I said my full name there.
That's a first.
Yeah. I mean, that is my name, but I don't call myself Jeffrey very often. Oh, fuck. Am I in trouble with me?
Uh-oh.
Jeffrey was what I would always get called by my mom when I was, oh, no. Maybe I grounded myself and I don't remember.
Are you in your own office?
I am.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
Well, like you got sent to the office, but it's your
Oh, I got sent to my own office.
You got sent to your own office by you.
I'm all discombobulated because we're recording on a Friday, and now all I can think about is little kids playing with guns.
What?
It's America. Well, also, I did that. Did you not play with guns, Gavin, as a kid?
Play with guns?
Yeah, well, like, not real guns. Like, I was a big cap gun guy as a kid. You go to the dollar store, you get a cap gun, it makes the loud noise.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't really allowed fun stuff.
Oh, man, that's tragic.
I had aliens that could shag each other, though.
Okay. What do you mean by you weren't allowed fun stuff? By your parents or by your nation?
Well, both.
Yeah, I think it's all around. I think self-imposed as well to some extent, I assume. I think it's just a general culture.
At one point, yo-yos got banned from my school.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened with the yo-yos? Did someone get
Kids
taken
getting
out?
choked out? Yeah.
I can't remember if it was a yo-yo incident where someone got clipped by one or whether they were just too popular and people were nicking them.
Oh. I remember Three Ninjas High Mountain, I think is what that movie was called. It's a Three Ninjas movie with Hulk Hogan in it. One of the kids had like a yo-yo that had like blades on it, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so I wanted to be a yo-yo kid, and I didn't have the patience. I never learned.
Andrew and Gavin, did you guys have lockers in your schools? Like when you went to school, you'd get a locker every year, and then you'd put all your books and stuff. Why'd you say yes and then no?
I said yeah because Eric posted a photo of Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, which is a childhood staple of mine. And I said no because we didn't have lockers. It was like a cubby situation where everybody.
We didn't have any storage, but we just carried everything around in our backpacks, which you couldn't put anywhere because there were no lockers.
Did they remove them or were they never there?
I mean, at my school, I never saw any. So maybe they were there before I was there. I don't know.
In America, we had lockers like in almost every school, and you would get a locker and a combination at the beginning of the year. And then somewhere around high school, when I was in high school, they started pulling them out of schools because of drugs. They were convinced that kids were hiding drugs. And I remember they would have these things where we'd just be in class, and then it would come over the loudspeaker, and the principal would say, please lock the doors. No kids are allowed to go out of the room for the next 20 minutes. And they would bring cops and police dogs in to smell all the lockers to find drugs. And then eventually they just started pulling lockers out of schools. So like no schools in America really have lockers anymore. Or if they do, they're there. They just can't use them. Like Millie, I think there's some lockers in her school, but she just can't. They just don't use them. They're just not available.
They're just there to remind you that you're in a school.
Yeah, exactly.
Setting.
Yeah, Nick
I think it adds atmosphere. Gracie also had them.
Gracie said we had them but never touched them.
Like, was that a personal choice, or were you not allowed to? Were they issued to you, or were you just told not to touch them?
They weren't even issued.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were there.
It's pointless.
They just become, at some point in America, they just became set dressing.
They're like phone booths in London.
Oh, yeah.
But we had lockers in our gym class, like where we would change. So why wouldn't I just keep drugs in there? It just never occurred to me until now. Like why have lockers for that, but not lockers for other stuff? That's weird.
We had hooks. That was our big thing, was there were hooks. You'd walk in, you had a designated hook. That's where your backpack would go. Our gym situation was just benches.
Yeah, I had a hook in primary school.
Yeah, it was just a hook. I wish I would. I mean, that's a band thing. Like a locker is a cool band. thing compared to like Gavin. You were yo-yos. Mine was Bionicles. That was the thing that was banned at my school eventually. They said
Bionicles?
they were dangerous. You don't remember Bionicles, Gavin?
Were they like little action figure things?
They were like the Lego Transformer type thing. They were like mechs.
Mhm.
They were like little weird mech
yeah.
things that you would build, and you could, if you buy multiples, you can make a big one type thing. Yeah, Eric just posted.
And
Bionicles.
why were they banned?
The word on the street was that they were capable of cutting through wood and therefore were dangerous. But that is just not. They're plastic.
Oh, they
It
didn't
was-
pass the wood test.
Yeah, they didn't pass the wood test, unfortunately.
The past is so stupid.
It is.
Grown-ups make the dumbest fucking decisions. Like, I was thinking the other day, we might have even talked about this in the past, but I don't know. But I was thinking about the other day when I was like 14. I remember in my shitty little area of Alabama, they had a Smurf burning at a church.
What the?
Where they just brought everybody. They were like, Smurfs are demonic. They're witches. So bring all your Smurfs down to the church parking lot, and we'll get a bonfire going, and we'll all burn plastic and then breathe it in for 3 hours and sing hymns.
That kind of sounds awesome, though. I want to go to a Smurf burning. That sounds great.
You're going to have to go back to 1986, but you
Oh,
can definitely
man.
do it.
That is a deeply disturbing event in the world of Smurfs. In Smurf history.
Such an innocuous cartoon, too. Just about like friendship and love and support and everybody pulling their own weight and caring for each other. And the churches get in and go like, well, he's blue, so he's from hell for some reason.
Smurfs are in the same category as Mr. Magoo for me, where I couldn't tell you a thing about them. They are just blue men that wear goofy hats.
And there's like one woman Smurf, right?
Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
one.
Smurfette.
Is Smurfette? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Is she like the queen of the hive? Like, did she
Here's
give
a
birth to
Smurf.
all the other Smurfs?
No, I think Smurfette was created by Gargamel.
Kind of an asexual cartoon.
No, Smurfette was created by Gargamel to infiltrate the Smurfs, but then I think she went, oh, wow, this is really cool over here. So then she just keeps hanging out. Because why would you want to hang out with that guy and his weird cat? You hang out
That
with
is
the Smurfs.
true. But there's no shenanigans going on with the Smurfs. It's very wholesome.
I was just reminded of a time where I made a bunch of £5 bets with people and I won all of them because I had inside info.
Really?
I made when would this have been? Secondary school, I assume. But I made bets with everyone that I knew the title of the next GTA. I said that I know it's going to be San Andreas. Because I just played GTA 1 and the 3 cities of Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas. And most people hadn't played GTA 1.
You were just making a very educated guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's insider information. You just played the game. Insider information to me implies knowledge that you could not access.
You can't get
otherwise.
insider information for playing an outside game.
Yeah, I didn't have connections to Rockstar when I was 12.
I, for some reason, imagine this was a much more recent bet for you. That this was like 2 years ago before you set up the timeline. The fact you're a kid makes it so much funnier.
Anyway, I don't think we ever expressly mentioned it in the episode, but before you got here, Gavin, we were looking at pictures of fidget guns, fidget weapons, and just found like a treasure trove of little children and their parents playing with guns. And so we were sending each other images, and I'll put all that on the Instagram when this episode comes out because it's too funny not to show.
They're great. If you're to look at them, Gavin, it is just our perception of all advertising in America for everyone.
Yeah, it's what the world feels about America. The kids' happy time. The mom showing the little girl the fucking gun
Oh, dear.
while she's got a crayon in her hand.
It's really cool. Me and Nick are fidget weapons guys now. Nick, do you have your gun ready? They don't fire
man.
anything. They just make a noise and feel good.
It's like the lamest shootout of all time where neither of you have any ammo and you're just firing an empty mag at each other over and over again.
It's like that video of those two people in the street flipping each other off.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
what this is.
Yeah.
Me and Nick pointing our guns.
Just leaning in harder each time and like really slamming your arm out there.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. It's a bleed over from a personal conversation Eric and I were having, and I want to get everybody's opinion. How big do you think an appendix is?
Oh.
Like with your hand. Like, is it like I said, I thought it was about the size of a fist, maybe a little bit bigger
I agree.
than a fist. Eric, what did you say?
I want Gavin to guess. Gavin, how big do you think it is?
I thought it was going to be like if I put my finger in my thumb, maybe like the size of a dick.
What? All right, that doesn't help.
Is it what shape is it? Is it long or is it a ball?
That's up for you, man. You tell us.
I assume it's a ball.
I just thought it was a ball when it was about to explode. Is it always a ball?
I assumed it was always a ball. I never considered it changed shape during the explosion. Or that the explosion would dictate the shape.
Well, in cartoons, bombs are round. So I guess for it to explode, it would have to assume a round shape.
Yeah, but before it explodes, is a bomb not round? Is a bomb a different...
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and check
I don't
cartoons.
know that that's a good question, but I guess it sort of fits here.
I think we may have a market here. No one's making triangle bombs. We got to make some triangle bombs. You need a square bomb. Oh, I guess C4 is square, right? And that's definitely a bomb. So that's taken care of. But I've never seen a triangle bomb.
In the first Star Trek remake movie, don't they go through a bomb field that's all triangles?
I have
That's
no idea.
the feature, though.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
That still has to be invented.
I don't have the insider knowledge of seeing the film.
So bombs are either round or shaped like hot dogs strapped together.
Is it?
Yes.
Wait, hang on. Gavin, are these the bombs from Star Trek?
No.
No.
All right.
Those look just like missile ends.
That's what I thought. I Googled it. I wanted to see. Anyway, I thought an appendix was like maybe like 2 inches.
2
long.
inches.
I didn't think it was like very long. I thought it was like 2. I thought it was like a small thing.
Get out of here, 2 inches. That in my mind for how when someone says no, I'm explaining. Let me get to it. I'm getting there. I'm getting
out
there.
of here. What the fuck?
No, I'm getting there to the visual in my head. In my mind, when an appendix explodes, it is violent. It is like when the guy gets his heart ripped out in Indiana Jones, or like a chest burster. In my mind, that's how it always worked. So the idea of it being like a 2-inch thing is like when in Mission Impossible 1, he puts the gum bomb on the thing and explode. Like that is the level. That's ridiculous. That's too small.
Bombs can be gum. Forgot about that.
That's true. There is a gum bomb.
You can make a gum into triangles.
If you want to quickly empty an aquarium.
I'm gonna.
I have an answer here. I've looked it up.
Okay, how big is it?
Oh, I never heard from Nick and Gracie how big they thought an appendix was.
I thought it was like a palm, the size of your palm.
Like a palm.
Yeah.
All right. Gracie,
Are you saying palm or pom?
Palm?
Like the palm of your hand?
The palm of your hand.
Like the drink?
What?
What's happening?
Gracie said half a foot.
Okay, but like here's the thing.
Like a long foot?
6 inches isn't a crazy guess, but saying half a foot makes it sound fucking nuts.
Wait, what? Oh.
12, half of 6 inches. Okay, thank you. All right, so Gracie said 6 inches.
12-inch, not feet. What does that mean? Oh, like the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about the body part when I say a foot.
Right.
So okay, we got 6 inches, we got a palm, we got a fist. What we got a penis, and what was you? What were you, Andrew?
So like 2 inches.
Like 2
A
inches.
fist. I'm with you. I think it's like a fist.
Here's why I said fist. Because when I was a kid and you'd go to the doctor and they have the guy that you can play with all those organs and they all fall out and you try to put them back together, they're all pretty big, right? The appendix is usually 8 to 10 centimeters, 3 to 4 inches long, and less than 1.3 centimeters wide. So it's about Gavin's penis.
Yeah, it's a penis.
Yeah.
It's appendix. It's in the name.
That checks out. That's just good science.
So it's long and skinny. It's like a little sausage. What? Can someone just post a picture of one that isn't too gruesome for me?
It's like a sausage.
All right.
Did someone do the work for me?
I got it right here.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the blue part.
Yeah. It's
Oh, that's nothing. That
Isn't
sucks.
that crazy?
That's nothing.
That's so disappointing.
Now here's the
So
thing.
it's just like a wrong turn.
The reason you think it's round is because when it's inflamed, it starts going into a bomb shape.
Yeah, it gets bomb shaped.
Okay.
Oh, that's a cooked appendix. That is a grenade that's ready to go. They're cooking that.
Somebody definitely pulled the pin on that appendix.
Yeah.
RB to throwback.
Oh, man. Have you ever had the Sour Patch Kids heads before? Those came?
No. Heads?
Heads, yeah. The specific. Is that a Canadian thing? Is that not in America? Sour Patch Kids heads?
I'm not familiar with them. It may.
Okay, never mind. I was just gonna say one of the heads. I'd say the main head in a batch of Sour Patch Kids heads is the same color as the bomb from Mission Impossible 1, the gun bomb. And because of that, I refuse to let the ends touch because that is how the bomb goes off. I eat it in half. It's a weird quirk of mine. I don't trust it. I'm not going to.
But when it comes to flavor, wouldn't you want the bomb to go off?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point, but I don't trust a flavor bomb. I don't deal with explosives. After the waffle bomb, I've decidedly am against bombs in my life.
You should get your appendix moved immediately then.
It's gone already. Taken care of. Not worried about it.
Good.
Oh yeah, you had a bunch of like I didn't realize it was on the large intestine. That's insane.
I think it's unfair if they're going to remove something from your body, you don't get to recoup the space.
Like put something there that
like you can build a pocket or something that you could store in there. Like that you can hold that's the size of a USB drive you could stick in there that you'd always have on you if you needed it.
Or if you don't have a locker, you can put your drugs there.
There you go. Hey, I had an idea a couple days ago that I haven't talked to. I've only talked to Eric about it. I haven't talked to you guys about it yet. But a long time ago, we the last time we sold baseballs, there were a handful that got that bought them, and then for whatever reason their order fell through and they weren't able to get their baseballs. So we said we'd hit another round for them.
Mm-hmm.
And spring, what's it called? Opening day's coming up. And
Opening day.
Someone said spring training and baseball. Opening day's coming up pretty soon, and Eric and I were talking about it, and I really want to make good on that promise to those people, and I wouldn't mind. We also still have a bunch of balls that we didn't hit the last time, so I was thinking maybe for opening day it would be fun to do another round of hitting baseballs, but the angle we could take on it this year, and maybe we do it going forward, is we just hit them in whatever the Pantone color of the year is, so they're like of the year 2024.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
great.
Whatever the Pantone color of 2024 is. Let's see.
What is the? Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Peach fuzz.
Oh.
Peach fuzz. There you go. So what if we get a bunch of peach fuzz paint and then hit a bunch of balls with peach fuzz?
I think that sounds great.
Okay. That will look better on the front of my camera than the black that we put on last time.
We're gonna slowly turn your camera into a Jackson Pollock painting.
I think Nick has a good question though. That's the Pantone color of the year. Is there a Pantone color of the year or no?
Good question.
Pan color of the year? Surprisingly, peach fuzz.
Oh,
Who would have guessed?
okay.
Oh wow, that's actually what a coincidence.
It's an alignment this year. It's a rare time. It very rarely aligns, but this year it's an aligned peach fuzz.
I think your color of the year is called Cop Out.
Oh, well,
Wow.
Wow, that's aggressive. You just wait and see what the color of the year is in 2025, and you're going to be feeling like a fool.
Did we intro this episode?
No.
Nah, we'll get to it later.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, I got another question for you guys. The other day, this was a big topic of conversation last night when we were I was hanging out with some friends. Down in South Austin, there used to be a sub shop, and I never went there, but I would always drive by it. And it had this giant gorilla holding subs. And every time I saw it, it was never like the right time to eat a sub. But every time I saw it, Emily and I would both go, man, I really want to eat at that gorilla sub place. And we went by it last night and it was closed, and we realized we missed our window. But as we were talking about it, we got to thinking, like, I really do trust a gorilla to deliver a good sub, maybe more than any other animal. Now in my head, I don't know if I did before or if this happened, but I associate subs with gorillas. And if I think of an animal, I want a gorilla to sell me a sub. So we got talking, what other animals should be selling certain foods? Like what would you trust from a walrus? I would trust clam chowder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, clam. That's a great one. I would honestly, I think a bear could sell me any food. Any food with a bear works for me.
I was thinking like the obvious one is like honey, but I could see a bear selling peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know? Like Uncrustables.
You know what? I take that back. I couldn't see a bear selling like a gourmet pizza. Like it just doesn't, the claws would rip right through the dough. It doesn't work. The functionality isn't there.
I'd take a plate of sushi from a crab, I think.
Oh,
That's a very good one.
That's a good
Yeah.
one, but don't you think a penguin would look a little better?
No,
nah.
Sardines.
penguin's
No.
frozen
Fancy.
yogurt, dude.
Oh, penguin could be frozen yogurt.
Yeah, ice cream.
If I'm going by Who Framed Roger Rabbit rules, I assume the penguin is dealing with the drinks.
Mm.
That's a good call. Nick said a giraffe he'd buy a salad from a giraffe.
Yeah.
Gracie would take pancakes from a kangaroo.
Why
Pancakes from a
pancakes
kangaroo. Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. It just seems trustworthy.
Flapjack, kangaroo jack. I can see it.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like a smoothie for a kangaroo for me. In my head, I'm processing now. Whatever it is, I need to be able to imagine the animal holding it or like creating it in some
Oh,
way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So like
Like a spaghetti
maybe a
squid.
kangaroo. Yeah, sure. That could work. I just can't see. I can't. Well, I guess like a kangaroo jumps, makes wine, right? Like crushes the.
Oh,
juice,
that
the
would be good.
grapes,
He could
like-
bounce on the grapes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
Wouldn't-
like functionality.
An octopus would do hibachi
Oh, that's great.
That's a
because of all
really
the
good
arms.
one.
Yeah.
That's a really
So
good
it sounds
one.
like you wouldn't take anything from a slug.
Escargot.
Salt.
Yeah, it's, I would. Yeah,
Salt.
unfortunately.
Salt?
Salt.
The thing that kills him?
Yeah. He's an expert.
Oh, wow.
Anyway. Oh, well, there you go. That's perfect.
I was. Oh,
Like
what was?
what would you eat that a wolf offered?
Oh, like
Steak.
raw meat? Yeah, like steak.
Yeah, like
yeah.
a
Beef
meaty-
jerky.
Yeah. yeah.
Jerky's
No,
good.
no, jerky's like a moose food to me.
Oh,
Like a
yeah,
moose
I
would be
can see
doing
that.
jerky. Yeah.
I wouldn't buy anything from a salmon, and that's even. I'm allergic, so like that's a side point to it. But when I imagine a salmon trying to sell any food, it's like Jack Lemmon and what was the Selling movie with Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
Glengarry Glen Ross?
Yeah, his like just this sad salesman that can't do anything at the end of his. That's what a salmon is
Like
to me.
Gil
trying to
from The
pitch any
Simpsons?
food. Yeah, like Gil, exactly. That is a better comparable.
Oh yeah.
I just don't. You can't. The salmon isn't selling me anything. I don't trust it. I don't think it's good.
I think a fox could sell me tricky spicy noodles that like they don't look like they're gonna be spicy. You eat them and you're like, oh, I got tricked by the fox who sold me these spicy noodles. That tracks. Regular noodles, I don't know. Spicy noodles, that's a fox food.
Horse sells trail mix, right? That's a good one.
That's really good.
Some of these are from people came up with last night that I'm just remembering now.
You know, Jeff, how you ate those boiled peanuts?
Yeah,
Who would give you them?
Oh,
alligator.
I got one. No way, baby. That's a
Yeah,
donkey
alligator.
food.
No, it's
That's
a
a donkey food. A donkey would.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
No,
a donkey would sell
no,
boiled
no.
peanuts. That's donkey food, dude.
Donkeys
It
don't
is,
sell boiled
yeah.
peanuts.
That's such a donkey
no.
food.
I agree there.
Elephants sell peanuts, first of all. That's
Yeah,
No,
and
it's a
boiled
different tier.
peanuts is a
I'm
donkey
telling
food.
you, a bayou gator with a cowboy hat on that's all rolled up with a little bit of with a peanut shell in his mouth and a Cajun accent.
The elephant hands off the peanuts to the gator for the boiling
Yeah.
process.
I think that the gator is selling me catfish.
That yes.
That's why boiled peanut is donkey food, dude.
Yeah. I feel like a squirrel is selling gourmet nuts.
Maybe.
It's something
Yeah.
trashy about like a donkey with the boiled nuts. Like it fits.
Does it bother you that animals don't have names and they're not really anything?
What do you mean?
Well, just that humans named all the animals, but they're not actually that, and they don't know each other as that.
No.
I mean,
No, that hasn't bothered me. Nor have I thought it, but I think that's a very funny thought.
I don't
Just a
think
bunch
you're
of
allowed to
animals.
have I don't think you're allowed to have that thought after I got just undressed for thinking that horses think they're in the Middle Ages because they actually live in the Middle Ages because they work at that fucking medieval times we went to. You're not allowed to think that animals are annoyed at people at being called the wrong name.
I'm glad, Jeff, that you like the sub gorilla. That's a thing that brings you joy. I have a dumb bit in my head where there is a car dealer that has like a giant like reptar, like a dinosaur type thing, inflatable on top of it. And I've created this bit in my head that it makes me laugh every time I drive by it, where it's the idea of this guy who really wants to buy a car, but he thinks that the monster is real, so he can't. So like he drives up to it and is like, "Oh my God, it's a dinosaur! Oh fuck!" And is like every time he drives by, it's like, again, why haven't they dealt with this? I need a car. I need a car now. God damn it. So the sub is the same thing. I like the idea of this person who really wants to eat one of those subs, but
he's
they're
scared
waiting
of the
for the gorilla. Yeah.
Dude, I'm the opposite. I'd run up and hug that gorilla if I met him, if I saw him. I've never wanted anything more than I want a sandwich from that gorilla. And I'm so bummed you see it out in the world and you think that makes total sense. Gorillas selling subs, that'll always be there. And you take it for granted. And then before you know it, the world changes.
So were you always going by this gorilla at like 9 a.m.? Like what was the wrong time for a sub?
Just always like, it's like 4 PM and you're headed to the mall to pick something up. And you just drive by and you go, oh, next time we eat lunch over here, let's go get at the gorilla sub. You know, it was like over by the Best Buy down at like, I don't know, Mopac and Brody or something. And it was always like, it's in a shopping center that you have to put effort into getting to. You know, it's one of those ones where it's got like a weird off ramp. And so, there's now the Juiceland gorilla. That's great too. I definitely would drink a smoothie from.
I would buy drugs from the Juiceland gorilla.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%, dude. Absolutely.
That Juiceland gorilla would sell you drugs right now.
That's what's in the crown.
Well, what would be the best drug dealing animal? Like if you had to take drugs from an animal, I think parrot.
A weasel.
Oh. No, I think the kangaroo has that pouch and it has some utility. You don't know what's in there. It's got room to look around.
It gives you change.
You know what?
It's donkey. It's a mule.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's donkey. The best drug animal.
That carries it, but that doesn't sell it.
No, I think it's a koala. I think it's a koala. They also have a pouch. And they're fucked up like 18 hours a day on eucalyptus. They're always high. They always have like weed vision eyes. They're always like, hey. They're always fucking hungry.
Like,
they're always munching on stuff.
Smooth brains. Like, aren't koalas like so dumb?
Because they're fucked up.
Yeah,
all
and like
the time.
really cubular shits.
I knew a guy in middle school that was like a koala. He was high 24 hours a day. We were watching his brain smooth out, and there were bets like he's not gonna make it to 10th grade, right? And everybody's like, no, there's no way.
If you did the Animorphs on the Brad Pitt character in True Romance, it's the koala. So I don't know if they're selling, but it's like, that's that person. It's that personality type. I don't know if I trust him as a dealer.
I can't get through that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. I've seen the first 45 minutes several times. I watched Drexel's dick get blown off, and then I just, I just turn it off for some reason.
Drexel is one of the coolest characters ever, though.
I disagree strongly. I think Drexel kind of sucks as a character.
He does, but the fact that that's Gary Oldman, like, what a performance, dude.
Is that a role that he would take these days?
No, I don't think so. But like, he fucking nailed it. Well, he's retired now, right? Isn't he retiring?
Is he?
I think he said so.
Well, that's too bad. He just done some weird stuff. He was a great version of Satan in a car commercial. I don't remember. That was directed by who directed? I don't remember who directed. It's one of the all-time great commercials. It's Clive Owen and him, and I want to say Danny Trejo, and it's all about James Brown sold his soul to the devil, but now that he's growing old, he can't, like, the contract, it was for fame, and he can't be famous because he can't dance anymore, and so they race to it. I think it's a Tony Scott commercial. It's great, but he does some weird stuff. I'm saying, like, it's not out of his range.
Have you guys ever seen this all-time great commercial?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't think so.
It's a fantastic commercial. It was like it was a car commercial where they took like 7 or 8 famous directors and they had them make like short films around the car.
And so Gary Oldman played the devil?
Gary Oldman plays the devil, and it's a very like ridiculous, over the top performance by him. It's great.
Who do you think has played the devil the best?
Didn't Tim Curry do a good devil?
In what was that? A Legend?
I don't know. Was he the devil in that?
Well, he was a demon for sure.
Oh,
I don't know if he was the
but
devil.
Not
I saw that movie when I was a kid. I don't really remember it very well. I thought Peter Stormare was awesome as the devil in Constantine. I always thought, anytime I think of the devil now, I think of he's the first thing that pops up is Peter Stormare in that role.
What about was De Niro the devil in Angel Heart?
Yeah, he was. I was about to say, who do you think played the worst devil? That would be De Niro in Angel Heart for me. That's the only time I've ever seen De Niro in a movie be bad.
I haven't seen it, so I feel like that's one I hear about a lot. I'm having a hard time thinking of other known like devil performances.
Dave Grohl the devil or just a demon?
I think he might have been the devil. Oh, John Lovitz played a great devil on the People's Court episode of Saturday Night Live. In that skit.
Did he wear like the red suit?
He did. Maybe I'll switch. Maybe I'll switch from Peter Stormare to John Lovitz.
John Lovitz is
that might be the best devil. Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When it comes to relationships in your life, I know certainly in mine, they often require work, understanding, talking to someone, or just personal evaluation in a lot of ways. It's something that it's important to, in my experience, get professional help when dealing with relationships that may be toxic or that you're struggling with, whether it be personal or it could even be a work thing. Just being able to talk to somebody about things that you're going through and conflict you may be having, or just even like maybe potentially why you're not connecting the way that you intend to, because it could be a complicated, people are messy, social situations can be difficult. It's a lot to navigate. So a common misconception about relationships is that they have to be easy to be right, but sometimes the best ones happen when both people put in the work to make them great, which is something that I have experienced in my personal life. It is really wonderful to know that even if a relationship is maybe not in a great place, it is possible to get it there as long as both parties are willing to put the work in to bridge that gap. Therapy can be a place to work through the challenges you face in all of your relationships, whether friends, work, your significant other, or anyone. Therapy is something I talk about all the time, is having a tremendous impact in my life. I think it's a really healthy process to go through. So I would highly recommend it to anyone. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit betterhelp.com/face today to get 10% off your first month. That is betterhelp.com/face. You know what you don't want to be? Smelly. No one likes being smelly. No one enjoys having to deal with smell when it's bad. You only want good smell. But actually what you want to smell like is a zero. And you might be saying, Andrew, isn't a zero a bad thing? And no, let me explain about Mando and their whole body deodorant. Okay, they did a clinical study, and men who showered with soap and used Mando whole body deodorant in their pits had an odor score of 0 out of 10 after 12 hours. No odor. No odor at all. Men who showered with soap alone had an armpit odor score of 8 out of 10 after 12 hours. That's big odor. You don't want big odor. Big odor, no good. And that's why I'm here today to introduce Mando from the makers of Lumi deodorant. Mando is clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours wherever you stink, whether it be your pits, package, feet, and beyond. Any stinky area, Mando's got you covered. So make the switch to Mando whole body deodorant and smell like a zero every day. Don't have to worry about where you are on the chart. Nobody wants to be on that chart. Not a fun chart. It can be stressful, be sweaty and smelly because you're like, I don't know with this product. Where am I on the chart? Both Mando, you know, you're going to be a zero on that chart. Let me tell you about some of the products they have the Mando starter pack. It's a perfect pack for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Mando starter pack with code FACE at shopmando.com. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack when you visit shopmando.com and use code FACE. Once again, that is For new customers, get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use code FACE at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Speaking of subs and juices, I had my first streaming disaster. What's funny, Gavin? I'm looking at this fucking gorilla drink a giant thing of juice.
No, you're right. It was a funny sentence. I liked it.
Have you heard of Robinson's Orange, Gavin? It's a UK beverage.
Like an orange squash?
No, it's like maybe Eric, could you pull up an image of it? It is it says on the side of it, appointment to Queen Manufacturers. That. So I've been streaming.
That's
We've
orange
talking a lot.
squash.
Ah, yes. Okay. I didn't know that, and I still don't know that, apparently. I have been streaming quite a bit and trying different juices. And I saw that in a store.
You didn't just go for it, did you?
That looks great. That looks an orange type thing. I've tried orange juice. Let's try to stream this. And it was right before I had a meeting, and I was like, oh, I could use a drink. Let's get this going. I was all excited. I had it in the fridge for a few days, and I streamed 850 milliliters of Robinson's Orange. Took a sip and did not like it. It was very strong. It was kind of orange. It was just a weird taste. Wasn't a fan. And then I just gave it to my partner and said, try this. I don't like it. And they tried it. They're like, is this, what did you say was squash, Gavin?
Yeah, orange squash.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I guess essentially this is like the concentrate of
that bottle there. That's enough for probably 60 liters of drink. Like you dilate the shit out of it.
So
like you couldn't pour like a centimeter into a huge glass and just make a whole. Add water to it and make a whole glass.
And for like explanation of what would make sense to me, I essentially carbonated grenadine and then tried to drink it is sort of the idea. I got laughed at so hard for not noticing, because on the front of the bottle it says dilute me in like a pleading way. I just didn't notice it. And then on the side it says it's a 4-to-1 water ratio. Oh, 1 part this concentrate to water.
I would say 4-to-1 is even pretty strong.
It's if you encounter that, if you've been streaming because of the show, be careful with the Robinson's Orange, because I have a 750 milliliter carbonated thing of Robinson's Orange that I don't know how to distribute out of that. Like, do I carbonate the water as well? Do I just add the carbonated Robinson's Orange to? I
would add it to already carbonated water.
I think that's the move, but it's just I've been staring at this carbonated bottle of mix, essentially, or concentrate, and it's been a disaster. It's my first big loss in the streaming game.
Speaking of disasters, I don't think I've mentioned this to anybody yet. Maybe I have. But on Sunday, my tooth just fell out of my mouth.
Oh, my good God. What do you mean? Oh, God.
I was eating Mike and Ike candy, and I just took a bite of a piece of Mike and Ike, and I heard a weird noise, and then a tooth just came out into my mouth. Into my hand.
The whole thing?
No, it was a crown, but it was most of a tooth. And so I just had like a little weird like nub, kind of like when Darth Vader takes off his helmet for the first time and you just see like what's left of his head. Like kind of like that. It was like, that's what my tooth felt like.
I think we are at the 15th anniversary of the taffy incident. So maybe it's just
So here we go. So I freaked out. There was no pain or anything, but you know, I have such anxiety related to dental stuff now that Emily had
candy then.
I just had one Mike and Ike. And I even bought it because I thought, well, this isn't too chewy. I'm probably fine with this. Millie was eating taffy.
So chewy.
Millie was eating taffy, and I was like, no way in hell I'm ever touching taffy again. And I'm like, my taffy days are long gone. And so I fucking got so upset and so just like freaked out because I've just had so much, trauma related to it. That Emily had to give me like a Valium to calm me down. And then the first thing in the morning, I just went to the dentist as they were opening and called him and was like, hey, my tooth fell out, blah, 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 blah. I got to come in and get it. I just got to get my crown glued back in. And they're like, well, we're pretty busy. And then they're like, wait, which tooth is it? And I told them where I thought it was. And they're like, is that the crown we just put on like a month ago? And I was like, yes, it is. I had no idea. And they were like, well, you better get in right now then. And so I was there for an hour and a half because they were very kind to fit me in. But when they finally sat me down and they got in there and they looked at it, the dentist goes, I didn't put this crown in. This has got to be at least 10 years old. And I realized, Gavin, it was the crown I got from the Laffy Taffy. It finally fell out. Full circle. The very first crown popped out 15 years later, and they just glued it back in, and it was fine. It was totally fine. She's like, well, I don't like this crown, but it already exists, and it should be fine. Put it back in.
God.
And I laughed so hard.
Oh, that was longer than, because I think that was 2007.
Yeah, probably 2007. That sounds about right. And they wouldn't have fit me in if they knew it was not their crown, because they thought it popped up after a month. They were like, holy shit, we really fucked up.
Long enough to like fully live through the lifespan of your dental work. Like full cycle.
I gotta say though, it happened at like 8 o'clock at night, and then I was fixed by 9:30 in the morning, so it was like a 13-hour ordeal with zero pain at any point. Like if you're gonna have a dental issue, that's the way to do it. But I just thought it was funny that it turns out it was the crown, the very first crown.
And what have you learned?
That a crown will last you about 15 years. Like in about 15 years, I'll take it easy on the Mike and Ike's, because these crowns will be ready to pop out.
Now, do you think it was Mike or Ike that took the crown out? Which one do you think? Or was it maybe a combined effort?
It wasn't even good. I like Mike and Ike. Suck. I bought this I like Mike and Ike. I bought this tropical, tropical version. Some of the flavors are good, but some of them are really bad. And I was trying to figure out what the flavor was that sucked. I think it was some kind of coconut, but I do like coconut, but this was dog shit. And I even lost it on a bad flavor. Fucking annoying.
I have a new dumb problem in my life that might go on for a month. I'm not sure when it will last. It's going to extend for a while. My Geoff's favorite phone, the Umidigi, his brand of choice, has passed. It's dead. No more crazy photos. It's gone.
How do you go through the phones so quick? I don't understand.
You want to know how the Umidigi died?
Yeah.
I was feeling really sick, and I had a bath, and it's the first time I've ever fallen asleep with the phone in my hand in the tub, and I was alerted to it thudding off the bottom and went into full panic. And it turns out the Umidigi is not a waterproof phone. It is my burner phone. It could not handle the water. It was truly a burner. Put it out, but the next day it worked, and I was like, "Oh, this is great! I don't need to look at a new phone. This is awesome." But then the screen progressively died further and further. Like it started getting more pixelated. And I was like, "This isn't great, but I can live through it." And I was on TikTok, and each TikTok would accumulate further, like it would stay on the screen to the point where like 4 TikToks that's still seeing the outline of what was there before. And then eventually it was like somebody smeared all the pixels, and so it's completely unusable. It's just like streaks of light essentially in different shades of my home screen, but I can't turn the phone off. It is stuck in idle. Like if I hold the power button down, it will turn off and then immediately turn back on again. And
it's like shorted on.
It is shorted on, but that's not the problem. The issue is we were going to do a Sloppy Joe's stream recently, and I decided I was going to have a nap. So I set an alarm clock for 7:20 p.m. my time. And now that alarm is still active. So every night at 7:20 p.m., my alarm goes off on that phone. And because of the interface, I can't swipe it at all. It's completely unusable. And I can't turn the phone off because it just immediately turns back on again. So I have to turn the phone off and then it comes back on, but it clears the alarm in that process. But the battery life on the Umidigi is long, especially when it's not doing any other function. So I have no idea how long I'm going to have to reset this phone.
All it has to do is beep once a day.
Yeah.
Can you still take photos with it? Like, is there a hard button
absolutely
or something on your phone
not
that will take a photo, like click photo?
I can't. Well, I tried. I did do that, but then I thought, how can I tell if it's capturing it or not? 'Cause
There's
it's
no
just
way
my
for you to
screen.
like. There's no way for you to like plug it into a computer and pull files off. Because I would love what you were describing to me. It sounded like when the Beastie Boys created their recorded their Check Your Head album. They wanted to have like a buzzy sound, and they didn't know how to achieve it. So they bought a bunch of old microphones from like music stores and pawn shops, and they just started pulling wires out and then singing into them until it sounded cool. And I feel like you've got some sort of a scenario going on there in your phone where who knows what kind of what could be created.
Well, unfortunately, it's just the visuals. The audio works great. And even when the phone was working, the camera and flashlight were the only thing. I was like, I can live with that. I don't need those things. The camera sucked anyway. But now it's a problem of every night, 720.
50 megapixels though.
Yeah. Watermarked as well. But I got a new phone coming. I'm excited. I hope it watermarks it as well. What I have headed my way. You guys can see the new future of tech.
Is it another Umidigi, like a waterproof version?
I don't want to spoil anything, but we'll see. We'll see what's coming in the future. Another $100 phone.
Without this show, I never would have heard of anything called Umidigi in my life. And now it's all I think about with phones.
Andrew slacked the other night. He goes, I just want to let everybody know my the Umidigi died, and so if anybody needs me, I might be hard to reach for all. I thought he was going to a funeral for a pet or something. I was like,
Yeah, it
fuck,
sounded
like
like
Umidigi. I was like, and then he's like, no, my phone, you idiot. And I was like, I don't know how I was supposed to remember that's what it was called, but I felt I was
we've
so
talked about it
concerned
a
for you
lot.
for a second.
It sounded like a dead Tamagotchi.
It
does.
It did.
Yeah. Well, listen, the best feature of the Umidigi is they have a burnt-in thing where you think it's your home button, but it's a home button for their store, so you can just buy more Umidigi products. It is an immediate. It's just built into the phone. So I don't.
Yes, they're so smart.
That's
Oh, I pocket bought another phone. Shit.
Well, it's if you want tablets, they got them. It appears as though the occasional time I accidentally hit that button thinking I'm going home and I get to see their product line, they got a lot going on. Umidigi might be a company to invest in. I'm not an expert, but they got tablets.
I wonder if they'll sponsor the podcast.
I would. My phone collection needs it based off this, but I trust the next phone I'm getting. It sounds real good. It was on sale. I'm a believer.
Oh, speaking
I'm
of
excited to
believing,
unveil it.
I believe I'm developing some newfound faith in our coworker Eric. I'm starting to believe in him in that he might be a guy who likes to play board games, because he came over to my house last night. He came over to my house last night and he joined in a game of Monopoly, and he played for over an hour. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Monopoly.
Well,
Uno.
no, I feel
he
like-
joined in a game of Uno, and he played for over an hour.
No, I think that fits with him because Eric he never wants to, but will if in the scenario. I feel has been the
I was tricked.
He was.
I just want
instantly
everyone to know that I was tricked.
I'd say that's less of a board game too, because you could easily play that like sat on a wall next to
Yeah,
a giant
but
gorilla.
I didn't say that would be great. I'm saying he's trending in that direction.
I'm not. No,
I'm
this is
telling
as
you,
far as it goes.
2024 might be the year we get Eric into board games.
It's not. I called the full show at AAPW last night, and my wife said, "Hey, we're still over. We're still over here. If you want to come over." And I said, "Yep." And so it was 10:30, and I headed over, and I was tricked into playing Uno. She said, "Oh yeah, they told me I wasn't allowed to tell you that we were playing Uno." So then I got there. I will say, no one is good at Uno. Everyone was giggling and falling all over themselves. The only person that I trust to play Uno with is Burn Dog, because he is out for no blood and only fun. It is. That guy kept fucking shit up left, right, and center. Playing Uno with Burn Dog rocks.
Dude, we're playing this kind of Uno that has these link cards where you can link two people together so that anytime one of them draws, the other one has to, and vice versa. And Bird Dog kept linking he and I together. And I'm like, stop linking you at all. First of all, you're just fucking yourself over. Stop. And then we made it a rule where you could keep adding onto the link. So he would like triple or quadruple link us. So like if I had to draw 4, we'd have to draw 16 each.
At one point, somebody put down a blue 8, and he just flipped all of his cards upside down. He went, I just want to see if I can do this by feel. And he put down like he put down a red 6 and he went, nope, and put the card back and then tried again.
Anyway, Eric had so much fun. You could tell in his voice how much fun he had.
I was so fucking tired. And then we were playing Uno, and then nobody wanted to play. And then we just got to a point where we let Emily win.
It's because you showed up. We had already been playing that hand for over 2 hours. Like, we only played one hand of Uno last night, and it lasted 3.5 hours probably. And then
so you had like a private Uno the movie happening?
Yeah, didn't even mean to. It just kind of went that way. This version of Uno we were playing with the rules we came up with just made it impossible for anybody to win. There's this point mechanic, too, where you put a card down that just has a finger pointing, and then everybody points in the direction of somebody, and then you have to pick up as many cards as fingers are pointed at you. So anytime somebody calls Uno, somebody just throws down, and then you get 5 people pointing at you. So it just became
right.
impossible.
But then also, Burn Dog and Geoff were triple linked, so they each ended up picking up like 15 cards. It just kept going.
I do love that we once played a game of Uno that started with Barack Obama being president and ended with Trump being president.
I do too. That was a lot. That was a great day.
Speaking of Burn Dog playing games, Truck Boys put out a Let's Play today.
Yeah, the Truck Boys video came out today. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
So do I.
I was telling Andrew last night. I watched it twice to give notes on it, and I rarely ever watch anything I'm in. You know. God damn, did I hate me in that video. I had so many fucking notes for that video of like, cut out this word, cut out this line. I probably have half the audio in it in release than was in it yesterday. I can't ever listen to me. I just grate on me, dude. I fucking can't stand me.
It is. As somebody who also struggles with that, I couldn't relate more to Geoff's notes, where I would watch the video and it would be something that is literally no other person would think was off or weird or not funny. And Geoff is just self-hating throughout all the notes of that video.
Because when I give notes, I have to tell why. I have to explain why you're cutting it. I'm like, you have to cut this moment right now because I sound like a fucking moron. I sound like I sound like I just discovered how to drive a car. I'm the dumbest person on earth. Please don't let this come out. I would be embarrassed for my mother to hear how stupid I am. Like, I have to give like a paragraph of why I suck in every note.
It's a great video. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any notes based off of my experience watching it. I would also just like to take a minute to talk about Expeditions. That game is so fucking fun. I can't wait for them to add co-op to it.
So that's new trucks?
That's new trucks. Yeah, it should. I think.
Does it look better?
It looks better, and
it looks like Red Dead.
It does. Yeah,
it takes place in in the desert. It looks like Red Dead.
I've probably put like 20 hours into it. It's the only game I've been playing for the most part. I can't get enough. It's so much fun. You can put anchors down, Gavin, and you can winch to any of the places that you put down. As long as it's on like dirt, so you can't just do like rock. You can't rock climb with it. But like if you're stuck somewhere, instead of just being like, oh fuck, I'm stuck, you can put a point down and then pull yourself out of it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Wow.
So
you can go down mountains.
Yeah, you basically almost always have a winch point. And then the mountain thing is crazy because you know how like when you winch to something, you can pull closer to it. But in this game, you have a push. So like Andrew's right, you can put a winch point at the top of a mountain and then connect to it and then push and then just let yourself go down like Spider-Man.
It's so cool. A tip for anyone starting that game, there are missions you get where you have to explore a circle they give you on the map. You can do that by whipping out your binoculars and just looking around, or you have a drone that you can fly around and do it. I took probably like 17 hours. It took me 17 hours into the game to realize this. So to that point, whenever I had a circle, I would drive around every corner of it. And it would take forever. I hated those missions. And then I felt like such a fucking idiot. The first time it was like, you're 60% done. And then I pulled out my binoculars and it was immediately clear. It just gave it to me.
We do that in the video.
You do it in the video. It was in the first mission. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know why I didn't connect that was a thing I could continue to do.
Yeah, does it give you a tip that you could just use a drone or binocular?
It does,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like in the tutorial, essentially. But I don't think I was confused by the drone at that time.
It's confusing. They throw a lot at you that's different but similar, you know, and the whole thing is it's just a little confusing at first. I still don't understand exactly how garages do or don't work.
I will say, playing a game for the first time on camera is one of the worst ways to play a game. It's the best way to miss all the tips and tutorial information.
Yeah.
That game, especially, we were kind enough, they gave us early access to it to like make that Let's Play, and we got codes for we'll eventually do co-op stuff in it. It is the coolest game to get to play early, because there were times where instinctually I'd be like, where the fuck do I find this? I'll look up a guide, and then realizing, oh, there's none. I have to find it. Like, I'm truly on this expedition. I need to try to track this thing down. For me, what I realized last night when playing it is that, and I think it's the reason why I actually prefer Expeditions, I think, overall to SnowRunner, is the puzzle of SnowRunner and the hurdle is you're stuck. It's movement. It's trying to figure out how to get through this terrain that is really difficult, where Expedition is more about resource management, and the movement itself is not nearly as complicated to get to like point A to point B. I'm very rarely completely stuck and don't know what to do. It's more like, oh, fuck, I only have this much gas. Because when you recover now, you don't get gas back for it. You do have some in your home station, but that depletes. Like, it doesn't constantly redeem.
So this is where it's a little confusing to me. So you basically have to plan for success, bring everything you think you could possibly need out onto the expedition with you, and then if you run out of gas out there, are you able to drive another vehicle out to refuel you, or are you just fucked?
So here's the thing: if you have a base in that region, you could put a car there, but you can't drive multiple cars out of multiple areas. So I did a thing where I brought 2 trucks with me, one with the intent of it just being a fuel truck, and I couldn't travel to a new zone with both of them. I could only do one. So essentially whatever you bring into that zone lives in that zone in terms of multiple trucks. Like when co-op is added, this won't be a problem. It'll be a pretty easy solution. One person is fuel, the other person drives, but it is region locked in a way that SnowRunners isn't. So if you're in a zone that doesn't, instead of garages, it's like bases that you have. If you're in a region that doesn't have a base, you just can't recover. You're just stuck. You have to end the run, essentially, and start over from the beginning.
Also,
it is
from what I can tell in that game, everything that's being done is in the service of selling meth. Like, you're out in the desert, and there's just all these like huts and tents and like random equipment hidden in the back of a pickup truck covered by a tarp, and you're just going. There's no fucking roads around. It's real sketchy. It definitely looks like some like Breaking Bad shit.
Yeah, they're aware of that in the sense of, I feel like maybe the 4th expedition you do is a straight up Breaking Bad reference.
Oh, is it really?
I think there's a mission called Breaking Brad, and you have to go to what is the equivalent of like the RV from the show, or the meth lab is. It's great.
Oh,
such a fun game. I can't wait for you guys to play more of it, and I absolutely can't wait for co-op. We're gonna have so much fun in that thing.
Yeah, we're gonna make a billion videos in it, and who knows? Maybe I'll even have the Truck Boys back again for another video if people liked it.
Yeah,
I had so much fun playing with them.
It was great. It was very funny. Where in the beginning of the video, it's established that like, okay, well, who's gonna start, and then who the person playing Willie Nelson does not give up that controller.
We talked about it after. We didn't even realize it. I recorded, so that video comes out. It's about an hour and a half. It was almost 3 hours of recording, and after we sat down, like 10 minutes later, we're in the kitchen, and Bernie's like, "Wait a minute, we didn't let nobody else play." It's like, oh yeah,
it's great.
It was so much fun to watch him play.
Did you guys play trucks last night?
No, I went to bed, dude. I was tired.
Wait, no way. We only left at like midnight.
Yeah, Bernie might have, but I watched The Traders and fell asleep.
Traders is good.
It is good, dude.
I'm in.
And if you're in America, there's 3 new seasons. UK season 2, Australia season 2, and New Zealand season 1 are all hitting this month on Peacock. So
I have a question about season 2 of the American one.
Okay.
What in the goddamn is John Burko doing on that?
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's sussing out traders.
It's like 18 US reality stars and the former Speaker of the House of Commons. It's the weirdest. I don't understand how he got to that position. Does he want to be a reality star? How did he get on that?
They're just trying to make for an interesting show. It makes it's very interesting too. And he's a beloved guy on the show. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, he's great.
How far into it are you? Have you caught up?
No, I'm like 2 episodes in. I watched him fall in mud.
Speaking of mud and trucks, I've had a recent development. There's this. I've been, when I go for a walk in my neighborhood lately, or go for a bike ride, there's this kid down the street, this little fucking kid down the street who is always playing with this monster truck that's like a shark. And I get so fucking jealous of this little fucker in his truck. It looks like he's having so much fun, right? And so I went to Target. I was like, fuck it, I can have one too. So I went to Target and I bought one. And so now this 3-year-old on my street isn't the only one with a fucking cool monster truck. There's a 48-year-old competing with him. But I took it to the park and I started playing with it, and I took a bunch of videos because it was so much fun, and I sent them to Burn Dog and Antonio, and now they want to build a monster truck track in Burn Dog's backyard that we can do real trucks in.
That's great.
Yeah,
So you've just been in the park playing with your toy?
Yeah, I've been in the park playing with this. See, I said it, the little monster truck. He's the shark.
Oh,
He's fucking wild, dude. He can do so much fun stuff, and he can climb, and there's it's so cool. It's so cool. So we're just gonna build the coolest. It's just gonna be amazing. We're gonna build trucks in Burn Dog's backyard, and then we can play trucks all day long. People can come over. We'll put up some speakers, have some fucking music blasting. It's gonna be. You guys are all invited. It's gonna be amazing.
Did you have a go-to RC car when you were younger?
No.
no.
I had this bad boy.
Oh, that's
I
one
feel
that
like
goes both ways, right?
Yeah, is that the one that
Yeah.
flips over and you
Yeah.
can drive it? Yeah, I had that. That was fucking awesome.
That'd be a great addition to trucks.
That we absolutely. Well, I think everybody should get a truck, and we should all get involved. Maybe make some real life truck videos. We were even thinking about getting into it. If we're trucking and somebody flips over, you got to rescue them with the other trucks.
I've got to say, this is heading straight for Robot Wars. What's that
Yeah.
called here? We're gonna start as trucks, and it's gonna be battle bots or whatever by the end of it.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait.
I'm gonna get a little one that has a little scooper. At first, it's just gonna raise the other trucks, and by the end of it, it's gonna be sending them 16 feet into the air.
Start thinking about trucks. Start looking for trucks now, because I'm telling you, this is gonna be happening. This is in our future.
Your original RC car, Gavin, looks like when you leveled up a car in Crackdown. It looks like the prototype of that. It looks like your RC car is like the level 4 vehicle of that.
I could click in the thumbstick and just ride straight up a wall. Man, Crackdown was so fun, and for some reason the other ones weren't. I could never figure that out.
It is weird that they took the magic of Crackdown 1 and then made two new games that had none of it.
It scratches an itch, the other games, but no, they're definitely not improvements. This is fun. This is a good episode 197.
Yeah, this was a good episode 197. That's an excellent point, Andrew. I agree. Yeah, I guess it's probably time to wrap it up. Eric didn't tell us to wrap it up yet. We're not wrapping it up early, are we?
I don't think. Well, I mean, we've been at an hour.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into the fact that this is 197 and not 197?
Yeah, well, I think after you audience, you just listened to the whole episode, it should be pretty clear to you that this was episode 197. It was a hell of an episode. It was a great episode. It felt like a banger. But
it was 196, though.
It didn't feel like a 196. We were talking about it the other day, and we just thought the lamest, most expected thing in the world is to go in order 192, 193, yawn 194, 195. Oh my God, I'm going to fucking fall asleep right now, 196. Ugh. What if we skip 196, go right to 197, and then you don't know when 196 is coming out? Maybe it's next week. Maybe it comes out after 204. Maybe it doesn't come out for a year. We don't want you to see it coming. We want you to be surprised by it. 196 is too special. It's too good to just throw it out because a 6 comes after a 5. That's stupid.
The only thing you know about 196 is that it is an absolute banger.
And it's not this one.
No.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys.
But we never mentioned it at the beginning, which means a lot of people are gonna. Well, actually, did you even intro 197?
No, I didn't
No.
intro 197.
Ah, never mind.
I
then.
never introed it, so I figured they'd have to listen to the end to find out, and then they find out at the end, and now they understand, and they're fucking super excited because they know they're getting a 196 someday, but they don't know when it is. Is next week going to be 198, or is it going to be 196? Nobody on Earth knows, including us.
Oh dear.
It's going to be a fun year. I'm really excited.
I'm very excited.
We've got so
I
many
gotta-
video games to play. We've got real life trucks. We've got
Oh,
all kinds of shenanigans planned.
before we wrap this, can I mention one thing about Expeditions I forgot to mention?
Yeah.
I want to try to get some cred with the Truck Boys. I've been playing it a lot. The achievements haven't been enabled in early access.
I saw that.
They
saw that.
turned them on this morning. So it was one of the best gaming feelings I've had of, ooh, another pop. I'm the first person on Xbox to get I believe it's the Expedition achievement, which is to travel 100 kilometers in the game. It's only the second time I've ever gotten an achievement pop to say 0.0. So that's-
Congratulations. What was the other one?
yeah. There were like probably 5 or 6, and all the other ones had some amount. It was like
No, I mean, what was the other
recover
0.0 you got?
Oh, it was in Prey. We got early access to the Prey game, and I was the first person to discover all of the audio logs for a character in that. I don't remember what the achievement was called, but
Hey,
this is a trucks thing that I'm excited about.
I'm so fucking excited. I'm just excited about all form of trucks in the future. Speaking of
Yeah.
trucks, before we wrap up, I feel like we should mention we recorded a series of videos yesterday. Gavin, you missed this, and I'm sorry you missed it. In a game called was it Turbo Golf Racing?
I think so. Yeah.
I am so fucking excited for those videos to come out. Gavin, it was Rocket League and golf together. It
It's a lot of
was
fun.
insane. And Eric, I've never seen, once again, Eric, big board game guy, big game guy, instantly was like, I don't want to do anything other than play this game for the rest of my life.
I think this podcast is changing, Eric.
It is.
No,
He's
nothing
evolving.
about. No, what are you talking about? There's nothing we did yesterday in the golf trucks game was anything other than golf. It was just golf. We just went fast and hit the ball. It was great. There was no
I think
board
you're
game
enjoying
element.
things more.
He is. He is. He's trying to hide the fact that he's having fun.
Oh, I will say I enjoy multiplayer gaming more since we started Let's Play, 100%. I don't play games with other people or online or anything, and I started to do that now since we started Let's Play. 100%. Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Also,
Everything
the,
else I still hate, so it's fine.
The Worms video we were talking about a few episodes ago where we were all talking about, well, I was talking about quitting Worms forever. It's now out. It's a first only though.
It's a good one. You can go to facepod.com/first. You want to sign up and support the show. You're listening to the show. That's plenty of support for the show, but we're letting you know that we have that stuff over at facepod.com. And boy, is it a good game of Worms. It's
is.
a great one. It is. Oh, it's a good one. You should go check it out.
I thought it was insane to put that one behind the paywall, and then after watching it, I'm kind of glad.
We're trying to do you a favor, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, we need to wrap up 197 now. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Face Podcast. Please listen, keep an eye out for some of these videos and things we've been talking about. They'll be out soon. A lot of fun stuff in the future. We're going to have some fuzzy peach baseballs at some point for you to buy. And we'll see you in the mud. It's like a trucks thing.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. You guessed it, the gang is still behind on recording, so here's some more assumptions about what's going to happen in the next episode. Hey, did you know Geoff has a dog named Albert? Gracie has had enough. Andrew is being traded for a third-round pick and a new hot dog machine. It turns out Eric doesn't actually like wrestling. The gang moves to Key West. Gavin reveals a massive secret, and once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face. Maybe.